This video will contain chapters, so if you want to go to various areas of the video to get information you're looking for, look for chapters down below. Hi everybody, I'm Nate from the Kraemer Life.
And I'm Katie.
Also from the Kraemer Life. We just recently moved from Portland, Oregon to East Tennessee, where we bought 60 acres to start our
homestead. Start a homestead.
That's right. When we decided to move away from Portland, we had a decision to make on how we're going to get some of the stuff to our new place once we found it.
First we had to decide, did we want to just sell everything and buy new when we got there? Or did we want to try to keep some of our items? And then if so, did we do a storage unit? Did we do a PODS? Did we just ship it out there?
We didn't know exactly where there was. We know that we wanted to travel around the United States in our RV and figure out where we wanted to purchase a property for our homestead. So we ended up deciding to sell most of our stuff, and then there were a few items that we did want to keep, and we decided to use PODS to store those items. So the first chapter will be this introduction. The next chapter is going to be us unpacking this heavily packed PODS, which will start now.
You're going to be surprised when we open it. There's a lot in there.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, well,
here we go.
We've packed the PODS. We're going to do a quick time lapse of us unpacking this, and we'll be back to you. But meanwhile, enjoy the short little montage of us unpacking this heavily packed PODS.
And remembering what we packed 21 months ago.
One of the things that we wanted to do was make sure to bring any of our lumber that we had remaining. The reason was because I figured we're going to use this lumber somehow on the homestead, not knowing that lumber prices were going to skyrocket. So this actually has probably saved us quite a bit of money. But all I did is I took the lumber and just put it along the walls the best I could, and the floors. So now I'm just going to take all this stuff out. Each one just has a screw in it.
Yep. And then we also have things that Katie wanted, so you'll see there's some canvases, and there might be some paint and some other things, some wall pictures, some things that I was like, oh, we have room to slide back behind. Let's utilize that space, because if not, we were just going to sell it all. And, you know, there is something to be said for things that you enjoy and comforts when you have some time, so. And we got all sorts of fun stuff. Floyd loves it. Is that the mask, buddy? Oh, buddy.
You're almost camouflaged to the color.
You were almost camouflaged.
We just took everything that we could fit along the walls, and then we packed the PODS afterwards. Forgot that I had some of these things. This is great. All right, let's get unscrewing. 2x4. Doing it diagonally, you can fit it in a 7-foot tall container.
Alright, we have finished unpacking our pods, and since we don't really have a place to put all of the furniture, right now we're keeping it out on a screened-in porch, so you'll see that behind us. We're taking advantage of one of our chairs that is unwrapped and sharing that for this part of the video. We wanted to talk through kind of our experience with pods and then also pricing and kind of what it ended up costing us. So I'll go ahead and get started with our experience. Pods is very easy to use. You call them up, you select the size. They had 3 sizes. When we were looking back in August of 2020 or July of 2020, there was only 2 sizes available, the 7x7x8 and then the really, really big one, which I don't remember the size, but
it's like 3 times the size.
It was at
It's
least
huge.
3 of the 7x7x7s, and we knew we had sold most of our stuff and we didn't want to move an entire household, so for us we chose the 7x7x8. So with that, we called, we contacted them, we scheduled them the drop-off, we packed it up. It took us longer to pack it than to unpack it because it was very strategic with how we were going to make so much fit in such a small enclosure. And then we scheduled a pickup. They stored it for us for the duration. We started with a 6-month contract because we thought we were being optimistic, thinking we'd find our land and our forever property in 6 months. And then after that, when they stored it for us, then it was up to us to give them our destination. We weren't sure exactly where we were going to have them ship it to because when we left Portland in August of 2020, we didn't know what state we were going to end up in. So we had them store it, and then once we arrived here and had the property, we scheduled to have it delivered. They dropped it off, and then we scheduled a time where they would come to pick it up. And we just had to make sure the pod was empty by that date. So that was kind of our experience. Very easy to use, very user-friendly.
The Portland house, it was a open, easy driveway that is backed in, no problem. The property here, it's a gravel driveway, 500 feet long, kind of twists and turns, and there's trees lined, and they were still able to back in, no problem,
issues.
and put the pods exactly where we wanted it. So that was really great. I will say when they dropped off the pods here and they were taking it off of the truck, they did cause some damage to our carport, to the roof of our carport. So we have an open claim with them, and we can't give any information about how that process is going because it still is an open and unsettled claim, but they said, at least the regional manager said, that they will take care of the damage. So that's really good. So cost-wise, initially to have the empty container delivered to our Portland address, it was $275. And that did include the first month's rent plus the delivery fee of $275. Hi, Bugs. And then the monthly storage fee for the entire 21 months that we had it in storage was $144.99, so $145 per month for the 21 months. We ended up moving across the entire country, so from Portland to Tennessee. I guess we could have gone one state more. And the delivery fee to have the full container brought from their Portland storage to their East Tennessee storage, that was $2,450 $445.90. And then there was an additional delivery fee from their East Tennessee storage to our property of $229.75. In total, we spent $5,850.44, which the question is,
was it worth
it? Convenience, 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Super convenient. Monthly storage cost, I mean, we would have spent that amount at a normal storage container. And they didn't jack up their prices that entire 21 months. It was the same price all 21 months.
What we were considering when we did this was the cost of tools, what it was that we were moving. We had recently purchased a really nice set of furniture, and we knew that the furniture was less than 6 months old, but we knew we would get less than half if we were to sell it.
Yeah.
So to replace that furniture at that same quality was we would take a big hit. With the tools, same thing. We had quite a few newer tools that, again, people just don't pay full price for tools when you're selling them. So some of the consideration points and the reason that we decided to go this route versus sell everything and purchase new when we arrived was we didn't know how long we were going to take. We were thinking 6 months. At 6 months, it would have been significantly cheaper for us.
Yeah.
And it absolutely, 100%, hands down, would have been worth it. At the 21 months, I think it's kind of iffy whether or not we saved money. But looking at the price of wood, looking at the price of tools and services and the things that we have in our trailer that we now have on our homestead, I think we actually did quite well, but that was unknowns at the time. We were making an educated guess based on we really liked what we had.
Yeah,
we liked the tools.
We liked the tools. We liked the furniture. Yeah, I had a bunch of knickknacks, stuff that you wouldn't necessarily go out and buy. You just collect over time, and all those things are useful down the road.
Yeah.
So it was, to me, I think the value of what we took or what we stored in the pods and brought from Portland to East Tennessee is at least 4 times
what we
paid in total. Now we didn't know that for sure,
right?
But we also needed the convenience and the fact that we liked the stuff that we had, especially the furniture.
Yeah, so, and our furniture was custom made, so unfortunately it does not fit in this house. But it will fit in the house we'll build in the future.
Yeah. The one thing that we were uncertain and worried about is what was going to be the condition of the contents after that many months of storage, because things can get into containers and stuff. It was almost in the exact same condition when we stored it than when we received it. Yeah. There was one weird thing, that dead bat that was, who knows where that came from, but everything else, the furniture is in perfect condition. The tools, it's not wet, it's not damp, it's not dirty, it's not dusty.
There's no bugs, because sometimes you worry about getting moths and fleas and all sorts of different moths and things that will damage. We didn't have any of that. We didn't even set off, because sometimes they recommend setting off like flea bombs or something like that, but we didn't want to do that because we had all the leather furniture. And we wrapped it the best we could. We did utilize a lot of moving tarps. We used shrink wrap, and we did do our best to preserve things.
Protect it, yeah.
These are leather couch cushions. We wrapped them in a fabric and then wrapped them with the plastic, what is that stuff called? Moving wrap, the plastic moving wrap, in hopes to keep any moisture out and in case there were rodent issues, any rodents out. But so far what we're finding is that everything's dry and in the same condition as when we packed it.
And
we use those storage containers, the plastic totes with the lids and the wheels and the handles
for clothing.
Yeah.
And now what we ended up doing is we went to the local supermarket, I think it was Target, and we picked up some heavy duty containers with lids, and these happen to have wheels and handles.
And for things that we didn't want to get damaged. And then I think by putting the wood slats and all the wood that we put in there, that also provided extra storage for smaller items like my canvases and some other items. And those didn't get damaged either. So I think overall it was a really good experience.
Very, very positive experience.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. So we hope this helps if you're trying to decide if you're going to use a PODS or a PODS-like shipping service. I hope it helps make up your mind. For us, it was well worth it. And if we had to, I think we would do it again.
Yeah.
All right, we finished unpacking, and I thought it'd be fun to walk through what we were able to fit into the PODS as a way to end the video. So
Walk down memory lane.
if you're interested, we're going to just walk through some of this stuff, actually all of it, and that's it.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Okay, this is the cover to our RV. We got Katie's kickboxing bag, full-size X-Pen. We got our pressure washer. We had to take it apart. And here's all the pieces for it. 40 by 60 tarp, 22-foot extension ladder, an 8-foot metal roofing sheet. My pack out boxes by Milwaukee, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all of these are full of various tools. A table saw, it's upside down, the legs come out. I had to take apart the wheels. Energized chicken net, 160 feet, 1 wall mount kit, 4 shelf storage racks, our dry camping bag, some Epsom salt, okay, belt and disc sander, clamp for making a sawhorse, about 36 mason jars, gas powered weed eater, an axe, my square, 2 crowbars, painter stick, 5 clamps, flat shovel, a metal rake, my tools and various screws and hardware. Of course, we got all of the wood, 4 metal stair treads. We got 1, 2, 3 Rubbermaid tote. Let's see, this is one side of the sectional couch. Chase portion of the sectional leather couch. Here's the last piece of the sectional couch. So the couch with all the cushions. We got a couple blankets, some rugs, we got 2 chairs. So there's 1 chair there. Hidden in this block here, there's a second chair. Stacked on top of those are the cushions for the sectional couch. Piece of artwork and blank canvas for painting. A hide-a-bed couch inside the RV. There was 2 couches in the RV. We didn't need both. So we took this one out. So that way we could put in a work area for Katie so she could work on the road.